everybody, I'm the Turbox Gamer. Welcome back to Minecraft. We are we're trying to figure out how to organize everything because now I have a lot of stuff. There we go. That's extra bump. Put you right there. Okay, you are smooth stone, so you're good. You're just regular stone. I need to make you smooth. A lot of... You know what? I don't remember what I was going to use the smooth stone for. Maybe it was going to be for the house. Probably going to be for the house, but I had to tell everybody this, but that got long abandoned even at episode 37. Still have not made anything out of this house. We're running out of coal. Wow. I only have quite a bit of wood. To be honest, wood's probably not the best, but since we have quite a bit, we'll see what we can make with it. So you're just gonna get that much. You're just gonna get that much. I don't need this fence. I don't think I need this fence, so I'm just gonna put this in here. I know it's gonna go pretty fast, but I just don't need it. A lot easier just to put it away like that. Put you down. Alright. And I put you there, and that's all I could really put because everything else is kind of full at the moment. I like to think the guy who's trying to sleep is like getting annoyed. It's like, man, why did you put all these lights on? And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, pal. But, thing is, this is my place. If you're gonna complain about it, you can leave. Like, I don't mind if you leave. I'm gonna have to give you a name at one point if you're gonna be staying around me. I gotta name you. I don't have a name yet. You know what? A part of me wants to call you Frank because every invasive thing that gets in my space, I usually call Frank. Don't know why. There's actually a story behind that. So every now and then, when I look up in my room, I would always see this like daddy long legs popping by, just like hanging in my ceiling. It's like normally if this were a other spider, any type of spider, I'd be freaking out. But since it's a daddy long legs, I'm kind of like, okay, cool, we're cool. You do you, and so I call it Frank. Everything else though, it does not get that same treatment. If it's a black widow, it's going to be a black widow. If it's... Yeah, you know what? That's honestly the only type of spider that I could really identify is a black widow. Everything else is just like a blank. Like, I don't know what you are, but at the same time... Yeah, I just don't know what you are. I'm afraid of you. I don't know if you have venom. I don't know if you're dangerous. For all I know is that if I leave you unchecked and you bite me, then it's done for me, because there's something called a brown recluse. I believe that's what it's called. According to what I've read, well, maybe not read, I was told about this, but brown recluse, their venom can kill off your skin, and someone compared it like having acid pour on your skin and leaving a hole like that, and that stuck with me. Now, the thing is, when I just looked it up, just to kind of fact check this, I was surprised that this is only a small chance of happening. Not a big chance like I previously thought. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't take away the fear that I have. It just means that it's very, very unlikely. It's like, it can happen, it just won't happen all the time like I thought, which, funny enough, with the Black Widow, when I was a kid, a friend of the family got bit, and we rushed him to the hospital. I was told that Black Widow bites can kill somebody. Now, me being a kid, didn't understand that can means it has a potential. Like, it can kill you, but it could also not kill you. I got confused for it will. It would. And for the longest time, I've been definitely afraid of black widows. I think it was only until maybe, I want to say 21, 22. Maybe that, maybe that's how old I was. I don't remember, but we were going to a family trip towards an area, and I was told, oh yeah, there's a lot of black widows over there. And that made me panic a bit. But at that point, I was like, you know what? I've been dealing with black widows my whole life. Why don't I just look them up? So I looked them up, and oh, okay. Their venom is potentially harmful, but it wasn't as dire as I thought it was. It was very treatable. And once I read that, well, I didn't. Again, my fear is not going to be taken away. I'm always going to be afraid because spiders, if you lose sight of them, that's just, where do they go? They just, poof, disappeared. It's always going to have that fear with me, but at the same time, I'm not going to be paralyzed fear. I'm going to be more, okay, I see that you're a threat, but I also know that you're not going to end me on the spot. Like, I have a chance of survival. Like, I have a great chance of survival. That kind of thing, you know? So it's like, So for the brown recluse, what I just recently read is that they're not aggressive. Like, the only time that they probably would bite you is if you press into them, and who would do that? Who would press into a spider? Who would press into anything? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna press into any itty bitty spider that I see. I value my life. A fun story that was on the Wikipedia page is that there was a home in 2001 where then, get this, guess how many spiders were in this house? Take a guess. I'll give you a moment to guess. In fact, before I tell you the number, in the comment section below, just type out what you think the number is going to be. Just take a wild guess. Go ahead, take a wild guess. I'll give you a few minutes to take that guess, just to write it down, just to... Dude, you're not going to believe this. Okay, you got it down? You wrote your thought? Alright. This place in Kansas, 2001, people had to leave their homes because there were over 2,000. Or was it just 2,000? Is it? Hold on. Yeah, it was more than 2,000 recluse spiders were removed from a heavily infested home. Yet, the 4 residents who had lived there for years were never harmed by the spiders, despite many encounters with them. And I have to say, look, if there's 2,000 spiders and none of them have been bit in that span of time, then that kind of tells me they're not that aggressive. And you know what? We could be chill. We could be chill, recluse spider. It's just going further into this reading. It's also informs me that the only way that's going to be really fatal is if you have a very weak immune system, are elderly, or under the age of 7, which is where most of the fatal encounters happen. So I'm good. I'm perfectly safe. It's still that small % chance for like your skin, like just like, ugh. I don't like that. I'll be honest, I'm not as afraid of them as I was when I was younger, but still. Can you imagine living with 2,000 spiders? Can you? I can't. I cannot live anywhere near that many. I mean, granted, now that I know that they aren't that big of a problem as I once expected, it makes me feel a little better, but it's still... So, the main reason that they've been bit, the records of people being bit, is because they would put on old clothes where probably the spiders were just chilling out, and that's why they got bit, but still, like, I cannot live with that. I cannot go through that. I just can't. Now, my mom, she's quite the jokester. She has very good humor because every time I get on Facebook, if I have something from her, I can guarantee you it's a spider video. Every now and then, it's always a spider video because she knows I'm afraid of them. And I'm like, hey, I love you, but I hate it when you do this. I love you, but I hate it when you do this. You know I fear these things, and yet here you are, putting this in my face. You know what? Half the time, I know it's a spider video. I don't even know why I don't even know why I get scared. I honestly don't. One time, she showed me this one video that was from this old show called Fear Factor, where this lady was in a glass container full of tarantulas. And she was like, would you do this for $1 million? And I was looking at it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give her a fun response, because normally she would expect me saying no with a lot of passion. So I told her, you know what? Tarantulas actually don't have venom that affects us greatly. If anything, it'll just make us itchy. So yes, I will. Just to mess with her, because I suspect she figured out what my response was going to be. It was going to be like, nah, not on my life, not on your life. Something like that, you know, very passionate about not being in anything with spiders or tarantulas. She responded with just a laughing face. I can't tell if she enjoyed my response or if she saw through me. I really can't. But, yeah. In fact, I only looked that up because I remember hearing it somewhere, like, okay, yeah, I heard spiders were not venomous. Is that true? And when I fact-checked it, it was like, oh, they're venomous, it's just their venom doesn't have strong effects on humans. Which, thank you. Thank you for that. I don't know who nerfed them, but thank you. I don't want this big, hairy creature that resembles my worst fear being able to bite me and having... Granted, I think I also heard that they might not have strong venom that will, you know, end you, but it does hurt greatly. Have you ever heard of a huntsman spider? You know what? Looking at the pictures online, I don't think what I encountered was a huntsman spider. I really don't, because it don't look like it. But just a couple days ago, this was recently. It's that I was doing the dishes like, you know, like a good son. Didn't want to bother anybody with that chore, so I went and did it. And while I was going for the last bit of dishes I had, out pops a spider from one of the plates, and oh, behold, it was, I don't know if it was a huntsman spider, but that's what my family said. I was like, this thing was big. This thing looked like a tiny tarantula. I don't like it. It literally popped out. I was like, why are you there? Why here? I then found out that, hey, these spiders, you're coming back to take my bed, aren't ya? These spiders hunt. Now, during the summer, I get lots of flies in the house because we kind of open the door, but they just buzz around my place quite a bit. And funny enough, when I was doing the dishes, I realized something. There's not that many flies in this room. There's a surprisingly a low amount of flies that I'm used to dealing with. And then when I got the spider, when we got it out of the house, I just realized something. You know what? The reason why this guy must have been so big and why there was a lack of flies was because it was hunting them. It's the name Huntsman. Again, I don't think it was that type. It didn't look the type, but it was pretty dang big. It was so big, you would think I would scream. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you thought that I screamed, but I had to give myself a pat on the back for not screaming like a little girl, because I did not. I simply held my hands back, took a step, texted mom, texted my stepdad. I was like, hey, you gotta come in the kitchen, you gotta check this out. Then I realized, hey, my stepdad's also afraid of spiders too. We both have arachnophobia. It's something we bond over. So I was like, yeah, on second thought, don't, Daniel, don't come into the kitchen. You don't want to see it. Because I didn't want to put him through that. Mom, she saw the spider. She laughed. She said, I gotta show Daniel this. Got Daniel in the kitchen. He saw it. He froze up much like I did. We both had to get a jar, get a piece of cardboard, trap the little devil. It was like, okay, we got him. How are we getting him out? Well, after a few minutes of debating on what to do with him, we simply we kind of squished him. We said, forget it. It was a burden to us because of our fear. And if you're wondering, well, that seems kind of messed up. To be fair, I only looked up the huntsman spider after we threw it out, and I realized, oh, this guy was probably the reason why we had less flies. We probably could have kept him as like a pseudo pet there. Not a full-blown pet, but a pseudo pet, like, But he is in our sink. And I really don't want to get bit or, caught lacking when I do the dishes or when I start, cooking. So, yeah, he had to go. That night, it must have been like, maybe 11. Maybe 11, going on to 12. Now, the thing is, usually, I'm a night owl. I stay up late. I have insomnia. It happens. This was one of the nights where I was actually going to sleep on time. But my mom, she knocked on my door, so like, hey, where's your headlight? I'm like, my headlight? Why do you want the headlight? And she said, I found another huntsman spider near the door. I got it in the jar. I'm gonna let it out. And I was like, I don't know where my headlight is. And as I record this right now, I'm actually looking at my headlight that was set up where I normally put it. It's just I was tired and I didn't realize it. But the point is, she got me up so we could use my headlight. Eventually I had to use a phone light just to see where we're gonna put this thing. And I have to say, God bless this woman. Because she didn't squish it like Daniel did. No. She actually wanted to set it free. The thing is, she didn't know much about it as I do, only that it's kind of a dangerous spider. At least that's what I gathered. So we're trying to figure out how the heck we're supposed to get rid of this thing without getting bit. It's in a jar. And I'm like, Daniel just squish it. And she's like, I'm not going to squish it. I'm going to let it go. I just don't know where to let it go. I was like, well, I don't know where to let it go. Why you get me out here? You know I hate these things more than you. You picked the worst guy to bring his backup for this little saving mission here. If anything, I would probably have killed it by now. Or, you know what? Realistically, I wouldn't have killed it. I would have freaked out, panic, and avoid it very much. Like, I would have gave it a wide berth. I would have avoided it like the plague itself. But here we are, stumbling about in the dark, mind you, close to 12, with something that I perceived as a very big threat. So here was the brilliant idea that she had. She looked at me and said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to throw it across the street. And I looked at her, it's like, you're gonna throw it across the... That's what you're going to do. You're going to throw it across the street. What if it hits you back? What if it comes, flailing back at you? What then? And she's like, oh well. Lady, you do realize that I care about you, and you do realize that this is very much giving me a heart attack with that plan of yours. Oh well. Okay. Alright. I'm right behind you. I got you. If it comes for you, I'm putting myself in front of it because that's how much I love you, but still well is what you said. You're not giving me a vote of confidence here. I don't like this plan, man. I hate this plan. Oh well is what you give me as a reassurance here. Oh wow. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, just slightly. So, we go towards the very edge of our porch. Not the porch, the driveway. Because we're not going to throw into the grass because we have a German Shepherd. And we very much love it. Like, if this thing was a threat to the German Shepherd, my mom would have most likely just ended it right there. Like, nah. She likes life, but she also values her babies a little more. So, we get to the end of the driveway. She lifts up the jar. She's not throwing the jar. She's just going to remove the cardboard and yeet the spider out. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what if the spider already made a web and just stuck to the bottom? Or worse, what if it doesn't get flung far enough and it lands on her? What am I going to do then? Just going to, like, smack it like I said I would? Probably. Hopefully I don't accidentally hit her. Because I'm never going to live that down. I'm never going to live that down. She's not going to. I swear. You do one thing to your mother, and they remember it for the rest of their lives. When I was a toddler, and this is a very messed up story, but mind you, I was a toddler. I didn't have my moral compass since I was just a toddler. And maybe they put me in front of Tom and Jerry just a little too much, but I had those rolling toys that with the little pop-up balls in them, like you roll around with it, you move it, it makes popping sounds. Well, my poor sweet mother, she was just taking a nap that she definitely deserved. And kid me, with the sweetest voice ever, said, "Oh, mommy," and then I smacked her with a toy right up against her head. And she has never let me live that down ever since. Ever. And in fact, whenever we go into a small disagreement, if she has the time, she will pull out the "I have suffered," like, I don't know how many hours. You would think that with as many times I've heard this story, I remember the hours she said, but it's because she changed it every time. It's like, I've suffered 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours of labor to bring you into this world. At this point, whenever she brings this up, I just do whatever she's asking me to do because I don't really need that reminder of you bringing me into this world. I'm pretty sure it was a traumatic experience for both of us. But anyway, she has a jar. She removes the top. She throws it. This spider goes flinging out from the jar, I assume, to the middle of the road. And instead of staying around and seeing if it's out safe, we book it back. I'm like, great, it's gone. We don't have to worry about it. Let's go. Now, I'm not risking it. I don't care if it's small. I don't care if it will take, like, a good minute to catch up to us. I really don't care. Just get away from it. Get away from the area near it. I don't want you getting bit. We go inside. I try to get some sleep. I can't get to sleep now because now I'm fully awake. This happens. Don't worry. I'm insomniac. I'm kind of used to it. But dang, was this the first time that I actually was sleeping pretty, early in the night. Because my mom found a spider. And instead of squishing it, like we did earlier, she gave it a chance to live. I love her very much. Didn't really feel the love at that moment, though. I was kind of cursing that now. I was like, oh, for love of God, I just got to bed, man. I'm going to be up till late. By the time I look, it's probably going to be like 4. Can't go to sleep then, because at 7, gotta check on the chicks and the ducks. Ay. Spiders wasn't the only thing that she also spared. Like, she also... If we have the rare chance of a mouse being in the house, when she catches it, she goes and sets it free. So, across from our house is a field, and from her point of view, she sees it as, if we kill it, we're not really contributing to the circle of life. Like, we're not killing it for food, we're killing it just because it's a pet. If we set it outside, then it has a chance to survive, and it has a chance to, you know, be basically food for some other creature. Us killing it's kind of disturbing the circle of life or something, and I'm like, okay, valid. I get it. Don't mean I don't like it, but I get it. Mice, however, aren't as dangerous as, well, that's kind of not exactly true, because they do have diseases on them if you're unlucky. If you're unlucky to get bit, that's just the key, you don't get bit. You don't get bit. That has worked out pretty much throughout our whole lives here, but at the same time, I feel like if we rely on that logic a little too much, we might end up getting bit, but yeah, whatever. Point is, she would do the same for mice, and I remember one time, it was late, she was setting out a mouse out of the house, and a cop pulled up by, seeing her across the field. Now, trespassing across the field isn't that big of a deal in the town, because I believe, if I recall correctly, that the owner doesn't care. They really don't care, which is kind of weird. You would think they would, but they don't. But no, they're not too big issue with trespassers. So when the cop popped by, asked her what she was doing, she had to explain that she caught a mouse and was letting it go. This officer actually knew her, so he was all like, "Yeah, knowing you, that checks out. You're good. Never mind." I think one time it was a new officer. He didn't radio it in because, again, the guy who owns the field across from us doesn't care too much. So it was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You're not up to anything. You're not messing with the crops," even though, you know, the guy doesn't really care about them, but still, don't go messing with them because vandalism still very much is a crime. And explaining it, it's all like, "Oh, okay, I see, you're good to go." Like, no one really cared about us putting mice into the field, even though, honestly, I kind of think they should have been a little concerned. Like, we are moving it, like, it's a cherry tree field, so maybe that's why they weren't too, like, caring about it, because, like, most of the cherries either fall to the ground or, you know, get picked up by the tractor, so, if anything, maybe it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of wonder why the owner doesn't care about his land, because it sounds like something he'd protect. Maybe, maybe he has more, like, crops, and that field was just, like, there for, I don't know, just to be there? I don't know, and I think I found where it kind of called it quits for the water. Hold on, I'm gonna try to make this, like, even. First things first, this is the line. That's the line. But, yeah, I always wondered why that the owner of the field next to us just didn't care about his own field, because it's like, that's just a little weird to me. Like, you realize people take your cherries, right? Like, they don't care, it's just free for everybody, a community thing. That's, you know, if it's a community thing, that's actually pretty nice. That's very nice. Again, I really wish I knew why, but I got no answer. It's just kind of jarring, but it wasn't always a cherry tree field. At one point, it was a cornfield, which kid me hated. It always, like, during the fall, it would always be full of corn, And, well, see, kid me was aware of scary movies, not a fan of scary movies, but let's just say that I knew what Children of the Corn was, and that being across from the cornfield was very terrifying for kid me. Did not like it too much, and even though the cherry trees aren't as scary as a cornfield, I still get the willies at night when I look towards the field because it's just creepy. It is creepy living across from a field. Like, okay, so my dog, she has this thing is that if she has to go to the bathroom, she comes and gets somebody, and that somebody usually is me. The thing is that when she's outside, I think she knows that this just messes with me just a bit. But what she does is that sometimes she'll look towards the cornfield, or not the cornfield, the cherry tree field, and just stare. Just dead stare out in the field. And I'm like, okay, if this were a cat, you'd be barking. If this were a person, you'd be barking. What are you staring at? Can you... I think you're just messing with me because you know this kind of gets on my nerves. Like, hurry up and go to the bathroom so we could go inside. Like, this is kind of creepy. Please. Don't give me another heart attack. I can't deal with these heart attacks. So can you go to the bathroom and let us go inside before some horror movie stuff happens? Because honestly, I don't like the horror movie thing here, okay? I really don't like the horror movie thing that you're giving me. Now, if she were to bark, that tells me that, okay, it's either a cat, probably a cat, or it's a person. I mean, a person creeping around the the cherry tree field is still creepy, but still manageable. I mean, I have a German Shepherd here. If anything tries getting me, she'll protect me. In theory. If you're dumb enough to go square up with a German Shepherd, maybe you're asking for... Maybe you're just asking for it. It's my response. Like, oh boy. You're not thinking too clearly, are you? I think maybe I had just only a couple weird experiences with the field across from my house. Only a couple, but still enough to like leave a lasting mark on me. But we are very close to the end of the video, and I would elaborate it more, but we only have like a few seconds, well, 20 seconds. Less than 20. Anyway, that being said, I think we're just gonna call it here. So, thanks for watching, everybody. This guy's still taking my bed. I'll see you next time. Take care. Please like and subscribe, and have a great day.